Hello, everyone. In this video, I'll talk about tongue posture and cover what it is, why it's important, and how to find and maintain a good tongue posture in your singing. First, what is it? Tongue posture is a general positioning and shaping of the tongue that's specific to singing. It involves training the tongue to create tension-free vowel shapes, to optimize the acoustic space of our vocal tract, and to not put any strain on the larynx, also known as our voice box, right where our Adam's apple is. And to not put any strain on the surrounding muscles and ligaments of the throat while we sing either. I like the term tongue posture because we should apply it like we apply good body posture. It's an active observation and maintenance of how we carry ourselves to optimize performance. Okay, so why is it important to work on? Why is it sometimes difficult to find? The tongue can be an unruly beast to train. It has a lifetime of ingrained habits and accrued tension from daily speech and everyday life. And it takes some practice and mindfulness, almost like a kind of tongue physical therapy, to use the mouth as an intentionally shaped instrument. As I mentioned before, good tongue posture helps us keep tension at bay. It helps us move easily and efficiently between vowel sounds and shapes, and optimizes the acoustic space of our vocal tract, which boosts our resonance. An important byproduct of this mindfulness of our tongue and the efficiency or economy of motion that brings is that we are more able to create consistent and repeatable sounds with less effort. This is super important to good and healthy singing. Let's take a look at the muscles of the tongue to see just how complex the musculature of our mouth is. So first, before we look at the labeling, we can see that there's a lot going on in our mouth. We usually think of our tongue as just the blade that we can see when we open our mouth, or the tongue that we use to make sounds. But the tongue, actually the tongue muscles, connect all the way down to underneath our chin, to this hyoid bone here, to the ligaments that connect us to our jaw, to our skull, all connected together in here. We have intrinsic and extrinsic muscles of our tongue, 4 intrinsic muscles and 4 extrinsic muscles. So 8 different types of muscles, all in our tongue. The intrinsic muscles are attached to themselves. They're attached to just other muscles of the tongue and themselves. Intrinsic muscles are the transverse and vertical muscles, and also the longitudinal muscles. So we have muscles that go across, the fibers go across, we have fibers that go up and down, and we have fibers that go long, like front to back or back to front. For our extrinsic muscles, we have muscles that attach to our mandible, our jaw, as well as to the blade of the tongue, muscles that attach to our hyoid bone, to ligaments that attach to our jaw and skull. Ones to really watch out for are our genioglossus and hyoglossus, which attach to our hyoid bone. The reason why this is so important is because that hyoid bone is what our larynx, our voice box, dangles off of. So keeping in mind that we don't want to tug on or pull or strain our larynx, we want to keep the root of our tongue, as well as the rest of the bulk of our tongue, tension-free and only moving intentionally. So how do we do that? How do we find good tongue posture? Let me draw a picture as I describe it. So here we go. Here's a picture a drawing I started a little bit ago. It's kind of frightening. Let's give it an eye and nostril to make it a little extra scary. Okay, so For good tongue posture, one of the most important pieces of good tongue posture is keeping the tip of the tongue hanging out right behind those bottom teeth at all times. When our tongue is truly relaxed, it wants to head towards the mouth opening naturally. You could try to release your jaw and try to feel almost like you're about to drool. Notice that the tongue kind of wants to hang towards that mouth opening. Anchoring the tip of our tongue at those bottom teeth gives it a good home base to keep it in check. When it's truly relaxed, it feels vertically plump. All right, that plumpness creates what I like to think of as a sound slide, where the highest point of the slope is the back of the tongue, and the lowest point of the slope is right there behind those bottom teeth. This sound slide reminds me to have my air move up to the highest points of my mouth and over my tongue as I sing out. Another way to think about this, up and over, use of our air and keeping that tongue releasing forward, is imagining and feeling that there are two rooms in our mouth, a front room and a back room. That back room is our throat, which is a resonant cylinder. We want to keep that back room open, unobstructed by our tongue, tension-free, so it can do its job of boosting my sound with resonance. I like to keep my tongue in the front room of my mouth, releasing forward, articulating all my sounds and vowels within this space in the front. All right, so let me give you a couple of exercises to help you find good tongue posture and help remind that tongue, which, like I said, is an unruly beast, to simply sculpt air. Remember that air is weightless, and we don't need to use muscle to form our vowel sounds. We just need gentle, intentional shaping to create vowel sounds. A sound I like to use to find good tongue posture is the NG, like the end of the word sing. So with the tip of my tongue right behind these front bottom teeth, the back of my tongue, the highest point of the slope of my tongue, the tongue blade, is high up against the roof of my mouth. Air's only coming out my nose. Because my tongue is blocking the air from coming out of my mouth by sealing itself up against the roof of my mouth. You can feel in control, a little more in control of your tongue movement by practicing moving the tongue from the back to the front on an NG. The highest point of the slope starts out in the back and then shifts forward. Keeping it touching the roof of your mouth at all times and noticing how forward it can come on an NG. Plump and releasing forward. You can also try humming on an NG and taking that hum from low to comfortably high and allowing the jaw to release and the slope of that tongue to adjust as you climb higher. All right, so it's observation. You can do this in front of a mirror. It's sensation. Notice where you feel your tongue in your mouth. All right, and try to also notice how tension-free your tongue feels at the root. So you can put your fingers under your chin. This is where the root of your tongue is. And you should feel it release as your tongue comes forward. Okay, I will be posting a few more tongue posture exercises on the website. and also some diagrams of the muscles of the tongue. All right, thanks for watching.